Welcome to Team Fortress 2. After 9 years in development, hopefully it will have been worth the wait. And my favorite class is the spy. 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 GabeN.com. 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 GabeN.com, 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 GabeN.com. GabeN.com, 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 GabeN.com. GabeN.com, 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 GabeN.com. Welcome to Team Fortress 2. After 9 years in development, hopefully it will have been worth the wait. And my favorite class is the spy. 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 GabeN.com, 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 GabeN.com. GabeN.com, 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 GabeN.com. GabeN.com, 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 GabeN.com. Welcome to Team Fortress 2. After 9 years in development, hopefully it will have been worth the wait. And my favorite class is the Spy. 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 GabeN.com. 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 GabeN.com.
Hey, you filthy sinners. Sorry for the late start. Give me just 2 more minutes. Gotta go brush my teeth and stuff, okay? And then we'll be ready to rock and roll. Give me just a sec. Thanks for your patience.
GabeN.com. 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 Welcome to Team Fortress 2. After 9 years in development, hopefully it will have been worth the wait. And my favorite class is the Spy. 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 GabeN.com. 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 Com. .com. GabeN.com. 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 Welcome to Team Fortress 2. After 9 years in development, hopefully it will have been worth the wait. And my favorite class is the Spy. 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 GabeN.com. 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 Com. .com. GabeN.com. 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 GabeN.com, 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 GabeN.com. Welcome to Team Fortress 2. After 9 years in development, hopefully it will have been worth the wait. And my favorite class is the Spy. And my favorite.
In a world where corporate interests seek to divide humankind for their own nefarious purposes, where political forces pit brother against brother in the name of social progress, where friends betray each other over one divergent word or thought, one man seeks unity through a shared love of PC gaming. He raises his golden chalice, its brilliant radiance emanating far and wide, a beacon to all who would seek refuge from the ever-present insanity of social media. He stands against the tides of internet-based hostility and defiantly bellows, "No more." Having placed his stake in the ground, he now seeks to build a PC gaming community free of politics, trolls, and toxicity. Because you deserve a little slice of digital heaven right here on Earth. Devout PC gaming evangelist, blessed leader of the congregation, and savior of digital souls, his name is Cardinal Sin.
Crap, hold on. Camera! It's fine. Everything is fine. Hi. Happy Sunday, everybody. That is gonna be our pace car for today's stream for sure. Just a little bit late getting here today, obviously. Sorry about that, guys. Also, another terrible night of no sleep. I do not know what's going on there, but man, oh man, it was rough. I got about 4 hours again last night, which is a lot less than what I'm currently used to, so a bit of whiplash on that. That said, I have zero plan for today's stream, chat. I have no plan. I have super duper big time no plans. The only thing that I wanted to do is maybe check out the Bannerlord integration and see what that's like. I haven't installed it or anything. I haven't done anything. I'm just now researching and looking at stuff. So while we chit chat, I'm just gonna like go over some of the key pieces of what the mod does and just, yeah, it's kind of interesting. So it looks like I may even have to roll back my version of the game if I want to use it. Hold on a second. Let me just take a peek at this. Let's see. Yeah, so there's I'm not quite sure what that is. It looks like it's compatible with a version of this 1.2.12. 1.2.12. That's quite a while ago, it looks like. I don't even see that here. 1.2.12. It's from June 17th of 2025. It's quite old. Yeah, I've been announcing that every day now, Death Gods, for the last 2 or 3 days whenever they started giving it away. Yeah, Graveyard Keeper 2 is coming, and it looks like it has combat, which is really exciting, because that's the only thing that game was really missing, was like a combat element, in my opinion. The game is great, but yeah, having that combat element will be very, very good. So Bannerlord Twitch allows viewers to interact with the game during a stream. The primary feature allows viewers to adopt a hero assigning them a specific in-game character that can be summoned into battles, upgraded, or controlled via chat commands. Oh yeah, that is also kind of old news, ATK, but yeah, there have been a lot of those things. I read about what you brought up yesterday, though, the breach with those music mods. They're safe to use again. It's just like, it sounds like there was an add-on to those mods that was causing the issue, that specifically affected those mods. But anything that's currently on the workshop, the PZ devs have said is safe. So the person who made those malicious scripts has been banned from Steam Workshop and from using PZ anymore. Yeah, the PZ 0 day. Yeah, that's a bummer for them. That's really bad. Right, it was someone who uploaded false copies of mods with malicious copies, and the mods were removed. Right. So you see here, where is it? My news. I did say that, but you missed that post 3 times. No, you're talking about yesterday? No, I saw when you brought it up. Again, I've been pretty tapped into the news recently on these things. As a matter of fact, I usually don't. I'm usually very checked out because I'm extremely busy, but what do you think I'm filling my hours with when I can't sleep? I'm literally just like doom scroll, game news, what's going on here, and it's just all terrible news. Crunchyroll, like you said, they got all their passwords and stuff were apparently, it looks like they were sold. Somebody bought them, like a big batch of them. Dude, what the hell is going on in this world? It's like non-stop tech issues, security issues. This is why, like I said, chat, the security piece for the extension is like the #1 concern that I have. And it should be pretty secure because it's on Twitch's, Twitch has a pretty sterile environment in terms of like what people can do and what they can like inject or anything like that. There's really not a lot of that going on. So we should be okay there. But I do have to make sure that your data is secure from other users of the extension, right? That's the hardest part, I think. So yeah, a couple of pieces of news. Yes, Graveyard Keeper's free right now. Go get it out on Steam. Linked that for you in the chat yesterday, but if you're not up on that news, go check it out. It's a great game and it's free. So go get it. Go get it. I mean, literally free game, and it's a good one. I played a lot of hours of this on stream, and if you want to go get it, you can get it there. Yeah, Crunchyroll, change your passwords. Also, for those who were like Cody types, there was a very big problem with Axios, which is a really common add-on for a lot of like Node.js stuff. So, hold on. Let's see here. I am going to give you a link, chat. If any of you out there use any of this stuff, I do not know, but check this out. It's pretty scary if you're a coder and you've used these packages. So it's kind of scary because it was like a, kind of like man in the middle. Well, not man in the middle, but like somebody has exploited a vulnerability of a very, very, very well known and extremely widely used lib and called Axios. And it's a bit of a problem for people to use that. I was not impacted, thankfully, because I was behind several versions. Whew! Oh man, when your lack of updating actually keeps you safe. Woo! All right, nice. It's always a nice feeling, right? Yeah, pretty cool that I dodged a bullet just from that, thankfully. But a lot of people were not as lucky, and they've had to go through the painstaking process of you know, figuring it all out and getting it all out of there, because it's allows for RCE, and that's not good. So there's that piece. Crunchyroll, Artemis 2 splashdown. That was pretty cool. Pretty darn nifty, I think. Very awesome that everybody got back safe and sound after such a crazy excursion. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. And hopefully, what do you think, chat? Are you feeling like, do you feel reinvigorated about exploring space following the Artemis 2 thing? Your office's lack of updating broke your interest calculator when you tried to install it on other machines, unfortunately, which required you to refact it back 13 Java versions. Yeah, so ATK, let me tell you a little secret that I've learned from working in the corporate world for a long time. Corporations are, like most big ones, even smaller, like a law firm like yours and stuff, right? They tend to be like about 10 to 15 years behind the cutting edge, because they just move at a glacial pace to get anything updated or revised or renewed, because there's just so much bureaucracy between the end user and the people that make decisions that it takes forever, you know. And it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough, you know. Like in my old job, I was like a process enhancement specialist basically, and I was tapped for a number of like in-house projects to try to streamline some stuff, which we did pretty effectively, I think. But it really opens your eyes to just how far behind everything is, right? You're excited about what exploration in space can bring. You actually found a file and 3D printed the Artemis 2 patch. You put a picture in the images. Oh, that's so cool. Like, let me see. Hold on. Hold on. I want to see these. That is not helpful. Oh, it's because it's got a bunch of hold on. There we go. There it is. Okay. That is glorious, but will it bite you? That's the real question. It's glorious, but will it bite you? Maybe when they land on the moon again, this will finally lead to a moon base for launching further into deep space. Yeah, that'd be great. Designed in COBOL, your database, huh? They use GRE 8. Yeah, dude, that's a few versions behind. 8 to 21 changed how Matcher works. Got you. Didn't have to reinvigorate your space exploration want. You're always pro exploration and pro space, right? That is gonna be Christmas gifts for some girlfriends. Yeah, these glorious prints of yours. Let's see what's the other one. Hey, that's so cool. Have you seen those, like there's like this like archetype of t-shirt that is just black with white font, and it just lists like things like this and this and this and this. And it's usually all like left justified. Do you know what I'm talking about, chat? It's like a t-shirt format. And I saw one for this mission and I was like, that might be kind of cool actually. So that's pretty nifty. Looking pretty clean too. So I am assuming that you have what is it? Something labs with the four different colors available with that little like auto loader business. Yeah, the AMS system. What labs? Something labs. I was looking at their 3D printers. Bamboo Labs. Thank you, Bamboo Labs. You got it in this weekend, the AMS. That looks great. Can I ask, how dare you You literally had me sharing your nudes on stream. How dare you? Put those nudes away. Oh my God. Salacious content. Wait, is that yarn for real? Oh, it looks like delicious noodles. Man, you can tell where my brain's at. Doesn't, it's wonderful, wonderful. It's another project that you're working on. I see, I see, I see. Are you trying to figure out, is there a resin that I can use that will make this yarn stiff enough for me to make it look like nudes proper forever? If the answer, if you're looking for that answer, I'm sure it's a yes somewhere out on the internet. You can find it. That's very cool. That looks great. So that was with the Bamboo Labs, huh? Damn, dude, look at that. Like, look at that clean edge. Jeez, man. And I ended on an angle too. Unless, hold on, question. I mean, no, even the other side. So they can't both be on a, like a straight flat side. One of them had to be on at an angle, and they both look clean as hell. Yeah, that looks pretty good, I will say. Very, very few, very few little kind of anomalies or little defects. Not anything that detracts from it at all in any major way. It looks pretty good. It was with the smooth print plate. Ah, okay, okay, got you. Yeah, that looks good. That looks really good. Nice. That's awesome, Surya. Thanks for sharing that. So speaking of sharing, so yesterday my buddy Best Ryan Ever wanted to share his tattoo stuff, but he never sent me the picture. So like after stream, I was like, "Yo, man, where's my tattoo pics, bro?" So he finally sent it over to me because he's got a sleeve that he's been working on. And you can see there's some good work in progress here, right? He's got his, it's like a fantasy space sci-fi theme. He's got to go back and get some of the line work touched up and refined after it heals up, but he's really happy with it so far. So just basic line work for now, some flood fill, and then they're going to go back and really clean it up and make it look super extraordinary. So I'm excited to see how that turns out for him. Should be pretty cool. Yeah, it looks cool. All right, let's see here, chat. So yeah, Bannerlord was kind of the what I'm looking at. This Bannerlord Twitch thing. Let me get the server up too, guys, so you can play Minecraft. My bad. I'm gonna get that up for y'all. There you go. Server's back up. It does look cool, Gregory. I think so too. So this Bannerlord Twitch thing, they said you can configure commands for viewers to join clans, rename them, change their gender, and send gold between viewer heroes. So it's like basically you get to customize your character, right? There's also apparently an additional module that allows viewers to apply effects to their agents, like scaling up or down their size, changing their equipment, adjusting their stats, or applying damage or healing over time to them. And apparently it is very extensible. So it provides a framework for other mods to register custom action events and command handlers, supporting a wide range of viewer-controlled game mechanics. That's pretty cool. Pretty damn cool, man. So I am looking at this thing and trying to just understand how it works. Yeah. So it says here you can upgrade battle equipment, civilian equipment, horses, buy skill points, attribute points, focus points, summon to the player when they're in a mission or on the player or enemy side, win, lose gold at the end of battles or fights depending on the outcome. Queue to join the next tournament the player starts. Dude, that would be crazy. Queue to join the next tournament that the player starts. So if you beef up your guy, I will never win a tournament ever again. Is basically what that means. Well, that's nice, ATK. I'm sorry that that happened to you. What happened there? I don't know what happened, man. So you can make them giants or dwarves, damage healing over time, force the agent to drop their weapon and be unable to pick any up. Remove an agent's armor. On my Christian Minecraft server, how dare you? Apply a damage multiplier to all agent hits. Play particle and sound effects at the start and end of an effect. I mean, there's a lot. There is a lot here. Maybe more than I can reasonably dig into on stream. Tomorrow is my day away from the stream, and I plan to get this set up in full. I wanted to see how complex it was going to be, if it was something that I could just like pop in and it would run seamlessly. I don't think that's the case. There's going to be a lot of configuration that's needed here. I can already tell. You know what I mean? Interesting. But it is cool that it still works for the game. I mean, you got to roll back to game version 1.2.12 though, which is pretty old. It's like 6 months old now. So there is that. So yeah, this gives you a sense of what it might look like, chat. Let me just show you here. Check that out. So you can kind of see that your characters will be represented on the map with your name. And it looks like you have a number of troops as well. Or I'm assuming that I assign those to your situation. I assume. That looks pretty cool. What else is there here? Oh yeah, there's all kinds of stuff here. It's crazy. Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Yep. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely gonna take more than a hot second. Yeah. Got it. Well, that could be very interesting, chat. Could be very, very interesting. I'm gonna take a look at this. We'll figure out what's going on with that. And I'll try to get this set up for Tuesday. Maybe we'll give it a go on Tuesday, see how that plays out. Also, there's a number of other games that I was looking at just giving a shot that I haven't played yet. There were a few, like, did anybody here play Let's Build a Dungeon or Roamstead during the last Next Fest back in February? Because I have them, but I haven't played them yet. You had lunch with your parents today it was for your birthday early a little bit. Got treated to some good chicken fried steak, and your birthday is tomorrow. Well, I won't be on stream, but very happy birthday to you, Death Gods. I hope that you have a great one, man. Are you officially years old? Congrats. Go take your aspirin. All right. Congratulations. You now have to take aspirin daily. All right. Let's see here. You are redacted years old. Nice. ATK. So let's see here. When you first got Android, in order to make sure you always had the account, you use your student email from college because your college contract said they provided a perpetual email. When YouTube tied itself to a Google account, I used the same account. But a few years ago, your college started trying to delete your account because you've been out of the school for a decade. Yeah, man, that is not good. I kind of had a similar situation as well. And it's not fun. It's not fun. Trying to deal with that and trying to deal with the bureaucracy of getting it sorted out and make sure that they don't delete it on you. Pretty rough. But at least now you don't have to worry about getting all deleted again. Now that it's gone, you don't have to worry about it anymore. So speaking of, I think I've told you guys, but like one of the main stressors for me about reinstalling Windows or updating to a new version of Windows is essentially the sheer amount of work it takes to restore the card controls specifically, right? So card controls are very specific. They use a lot of OBS technology, and they're kind of a pain in the ass to set up the first time. And because a lot of this happens not in scenes or sources, but in other, other parts of OBS that are called filters, because of all of the specifications of the filters and things of that nature, it's really tough with this because there are not really good backup options that include filter options. I can save scenes and I can save sources, but if I can't save the filters, that doesn't matter. You know what I mean? And so I actually went out to someone that I think is probably the #1 OBS plugin developer. He's like the top guy. His name is Exeldro, and he's made pretty much every cool plugin that you and any other streamer or person has seen or used. It's him. It's like almost all of it is him. And I literally went to him directly and I said, yo, you're like the OBS god. Please help me out here. How can I do this? How can I make this happen so that I can just like back this up easily so that when I reinstall, I can just press like a button and it will start, putting things back the way they were instead of me having to like, because you know what I had to do last time, chat? This is literally what I had to do. I had to go through every single card control, go through every single filter, what the name of the filter was and what the specific settings for the filter were, and like literally write them out so that when I got it reinstalled, I could then refer to my notes and set it back the way it was. Isn't that crazy? It's crazy. I wonder what programming you could do to make it cause those, make it cause those in Windows itself on your screen and just shows your screen. There's no way to do it natively within Windows. You have to use like an overlay, like for example, like Chaos Tricks. Chaos Tricks has one of those that it's made in Unity engine and it runs on top of Windows, but it's just essentially an invisible window. An invisible, unmovable, unusable window that runs on the top of everything. So that's what like I think I have them on right now. The jump scares. That's what that is. That's how those work. Like that. Like that runs like even over the top of my, like I'm looking at my desktop. That even happens over my desktop. Right? It doesn't matter what's on my screen here. It's happening there. Could probably do it with shaders of some kind, but that's the deep magics. Yeah, maybe. But maybe build something like that for yourself. Maybe eventually. Maybe. But again, it's like a lot of the stuff is like within, even still, a lot of the stuff is within OBS. You know, I've got, you know, like my camera, for example, like even just like your channel point reward stuff. Like, where the heck is it? Something like this thing, you know, this is within OBS, you know. Yeah, it's just, it's strange. That's some really sophisticated stuff, especially for the kind of things he's done. Like, I know it sounds pretty simple, but some stuff really isn't to render at speed. Yeah, man. Some stuff is very difficult. Like, if you think about it, like, some stuff is not meant to render at speed. Like, I don't know if you guys know, but, like, you know that, like, actually, so, you know the heaven background that I have, chat? Oh, the UFO warp. Yeah, that one's pretty computationally pricey for sure. Yeah, that one's pretty rough. There are a few that are rough for various reasons. But yeah, I mean, I just like, I'm like, just help me out here. Give me an answer, please. And he actually had an answer. He's like, well, it's funny you say that. I have this, you know, I have a plugin for that. It's like, of course you do. So I'm gonna give that a shot. I'm gonna try to, like set up a new scene collection, like export my current one and then set up a new scene collection and try to import from that and see if it does everything that it says that it's supposed to do. And if it does, great. That'd be awesome. Because that will take a lot of stress off me when I do that transition, because I think it's coming real soon. I definitely want it to happen before the next subathon. So that is 3 months at the latest. And that process, I mean, you know how it was last time. There was stuff that was in various states of functionality for a while. Some stuff was working, some stuff wasn't. It was a little confusing and frustrating for a hot minute there. But it's important that I get that stuff set up too. Let's see. So, you know, I don't know what I want to do today, chat. What do I do? Do I play some Roamstead, some Let's Build a Dungeon? I'm gonna play Minecraft later. But again, I'm not gonna lie. I'm feeling slightly burnt out on Minecraft at this point, and so I don't want to do too much there. So yeah, I don't know. I gotta figure it out. What do you think, chat? Bold of you to call some of those states of functionality. Excuse me. That way you're not tied to updates breaking things unless you're updating the code yourself. Right. I mean, yeah, that's always a great thing, but shit breaks, man. It's, again, it's one of those not your keys, not your castle situations, you know? And so right now, even like with the panel, so I'll be using other functionality with other utilities that are tied into the panel functionality. But the eventual end goal of that will be that I am creating my own functionality that I'm hitting an API backend that belongs to me. You know what I mean? That is truly mine, my code, and I can determine how things interact with it. So, right, exactly. So there's like it's like layers, right? It's like, okay, here's a panel for just me. It does really basic stuff, like maybe at the start it literally only does like Minecraft commands. Because I don't think there are very few Minecraft commands that have cooldowns that are really very long. I think most of them are like close to none, or like maybe like less than a minute or something. I don't know. I don't freaking know. I gotta figure it out, because obviously the cooldown thing is gonna be a whole thing that I'm gonna have to figure out too. So Yeah. Maybe... Okay, I've got an idea. Hold on. I got an idea. This is what we're going to do. I am going to try out these couple of demos because I'm curious about them. Windrose is coming out on Tuesday. I think on Tuesday I'm going to be playing Windrose. I would like to be. I think it's going to be... I think a lot of people are going to be playing Windrose, though. Like a lot of people are going to be playing Windrose. So we'll see how that goes. I'm curious to see how much they will tighten up the gameplay between now and then. Hopefully they do. I'm trying so hard to hold back all my suggestions so they aren't given too early in the development process for the extension. Oh, there's so much stuff that we'll be able to do eventually too, especially once I get the CRUD backend working like on my own tech stack. You know, once I get the CRUD backend working on my own tech stack and I can, you know, migrate everybody's points over, there's going to be so much more functionality for me, you know. We're talking about like, oh, you want to enter the giveaway? Well, guess what? You can just click a button on the panel now. Cool. You know how everybody's like, I don't know how many points I have. I want to go all in. Well, guess what? There's probably going to be a button for that. It's like there's a giveaway open now and it's this type of currency point thing. And I want to do maximum points. Click the button. Boom. All in. You know? Oh, UI, UX. Yeah, no. I'm not ready for that at all. And so, honestly, I'm going to go very, very bare bonesy. Like, my game plan is, like, panel-wise. Just to show you. Let's see. That's right. Everybody's favorite time, chat. Paint. So, my game plan is kind of just to have the panel... you know, like here's our panel. Let's say it's about that. I mean, I basically think it's literally going to be like this. It's going to be like command name. Okay, not like that. That's a little big. It's probably going to be something like this. Command name. And then it's just going to be like, it'll be like Ost. And it's literally just going to be like lines and lines and lines of this. You know what I mean? It's literally just going to be this. And up here, there'll be like a command type. And this will be slightly bigger. And collapsible. That'd be like, for example, sounds, right? And you click on this, and there'll be like a little caret thingy here. Right? Like a little caret thingamabobber. Guess I could probably just put a V over here, right? Probably look like that, right? You click this little thingy, and all of that comes back up underneath sounds so that you don't have to look at all of it. But what I might also do is the very first command of every letter of the alphabet, I may like make it a different color to stand out, like A, B, C, etc. as you're going down through the list so that you know exactly where they are or what they are. I don't know if I want to nest the collapsibles by letter or not. I'm not sure if I want to do that. I feel like that might make it too many clicks to get to what you want to do. It certainly would decrease the amount of commands that you're looking at a given time, which kind of reduces the visual overload, but it also makes it more frustrating to use, which I think is probably the worst UI sin. Just remember, some of us are old and can't read good. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure that piece out too. Got to somehow make it larger. But you'll always be able to. I will always run it as a as a panel. I'll always have it as a panel so that you can pop that out and, you know, blow it up if you want to. Right? That's always going to be a thing. Yeah, if it can pop out, you're good. Yeah. And honestly, if I ever make it a video panel extension, then it'll be so big that it shouldn't be a problem. Right? The text should be big enough at that point, I would think, for most users. I won't say everybody, but most. But yeah, it'll probably be something like this, where it's just gonna be very, very basic. But eventually I'll start tracking things too. Like, it might be a thing where, like, when you mouse over a command, maybe it, like, slides back to reveal how many times you've actually used that command and the last time that you used it. Maybe the total uses on the channel. Something like that. Be kind of cool. In mod view, you get like 30% smaller. Oh, that's fair. Yeah, you do, huh? That is true. That is very true. So yeah, I know there's just some specific functionality that I will need with that video panel eventually, because I want to link it into the church eventually, like with heat style functionality. So that would be interesting to say the least. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. I have ideas, chat. I have ideas. But yeah, this is, I would really like to, I'm going to spend a lot of time working on this tomorrow. I got to get just the basic functionality working, which is it's the hardest part, man. It's like just the basic stuff, like getting set up on Twitch so that I could do local testing. That itself was insanely difficult. And that is all on Chrome and Chromium based browsers because of some stupid bullshit reasons that they have restrictions on local testing. It's like, why on earth would you ever, I mean, like, I get that it's a security vulnerability in rare cases, super duper rare cases, but like, if somebody's using local testing already, like hitting a local host, dude, I don't know. That's like a developer style thing. You should very easily be able to disable this, right? Like, it should just be a click of a button and allow the developer to do what they're going to do. Like, let me have control of my system, you nanny. Let me use my toys, nanny. God. I'm so over it. So yeah, that was a very frustrating thing that happened for a long time, and I finally got that worked out. I literally saw the answer and had asked voided, and literally was pretty much reading about it as soon as I got a response from him that was telling me the exact thing that I was reading. And I was like, son of a, because this happens with voided all the time. Like, I'm like, dude, I don't want to bother him unless I have to. Don't want to bother him unless I have to. I'm like, these changes happened back in, like, I want to say it was like build 39. Like, this is like years ago in Chromium. So he had to have dealt with this too. So I'm like, hit him up. I'm like, hey, let me know what you think. Send it off. And then, like, I'm in the middle of looking stuff up, and then he comes back with the answer that I'm literally reading about. And I'm like, so that happens quite often, unfortunately, with him. I feel like I ping him for a lot of stupid crap. By the way, chat, if you are here at the beginning of this stream, I love you and I appreciate you. I would like you all to have this because you're super cool and you got here really early. Thank you. Yeah, man, I don't know. I just have, like, I have ideas about all this stuff, and I just want to get them going, man. Does this sound weird for me to say, like, and this is I want to just preface this by stating I understand that this is an incredibly entitled thing that I am about to say. And I don't want anyone here to feel that it means that I do not appreciate their support, because I do. 100%. Every day. Most things I do on this channel, chat, are about trying to deliver the best that I can to you as supporters and viewers of the channel, right? I've run myself ragged in the past trying to do that because I really do care about your impression of the stream and, you know, just in general, how you're enjoying the community, right? But I had to say right now, because I want to do this so badly, it feels like sometimes my job is getting in the way of my job. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? It's like, I want to do it. I need time to do it, but I have no time to do it because I got to do this other thing. Definitely, that's not entitled. It's just like, I don't know. I wish that I had more time to focus on this stuff because I feel like long term for like this is where the entitled part comes up, ATK, I think. Long term for my financial health, safety, and prosperity, the sooner I can get this thing up and running and potentially spread out to the wider Twitch ecosystem, the better, right? Because if I even get like a few solid hardcore adopters of a panel, I could make you know, a modest daily income that will help supplement my stream income here, and it'll just make things a lot easier, and you know, just from a financial perspective. And so like I look at this and I'm like, I just want to get it done, not just because of the financial piece, but because it just is such a quality of life thing for us. Like, think about every time that it's like, oh, hey, oh, that didn't work. Hold on a second. Let me just refund you. And it takes, you know, it takes a second for me to do it. But it's like, it still is like a big hit, you know? But what's your reason for that card? So you can take the pressure off the community, no? Yeah, I mean, that is the reason. So how is that entitled or self-motivated? Well, I guess that's right. That's fair. You know, I mean, I would hope that maybe in the end, maybe I would end up in a slightly better financial position than I find myself right now. That would be the selfish wish for myself in this. Stop being so mean to my friend. I mean, I think that's like what everybody wishes, right? Like if you work hard that you end up with a little bit more in life. I mean, but I would like that little bit more in life not to just come from you guys. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Yeah. And, you know, I think it opens up a lot of possibilities where I can just play things that I want to play. I don't feel so beholden to Twitch integration all the time. And it just makes for a more enjoyable stream experience. I mean, I think you guys know, like, when I'm really vibing with a game and having fun. Like, yesterday I was having a good time with Bannerlord. And yeah, it was fun. It was a good time. So I look forward to getting this stuff just working, I guess. Like, I mean, that would be good. Even if it's just there's no, like, it doesn't show you your balances, it doesn't show you your profile picture. It literally is just a list of the commands that you can trigger. And it basically just bypasses your need to type something in the chat. If it even just does that piece, that would be great. You know? That first step is JWT, right? The JWT piece is very, very important because basically, I need to ensure security on the front end before I pass it through to, you know, whatever it's doing on the back end, you know, and that is that's interesting to say the least. It's interesting to say the least, but we shall see, my friends. I don't know. It's a lot of tech. There's a lot of tech. I mean, when Voided was like, this was me in 2019, is like, yeah, yep, it was. Like, he was building this in 2019 when I was building like an auto hotkey macro to make a zombie appear. And I thought I was a wizard.
You know what I mean? Like he was just on such a different level than I was back then. I mean, now I'm starting to catch up a little bit. I'm starting to catch up with my skills, with my understanding. But he's just a significantly better programmer than I am. And I'm really thankful to have him as a friend because he's helped me out in many situations with questions and answers, right? He wasn't on a different level, just further down the path. Perhaps. But yeah, like now I'm starting to learn about stuff, and I think like long term, it could be a really great project just for this channel, but I'd love to be able to make it available for other people to consume as well, you know? And that'd be really, really ideal in my mind. Stop being mean to my friend. All right, so speaking of, you know what? Heck this, I'm gonna end the YouTube stream. I don't care. I'm not monetized over there right now. I gotta do some stuff with them. I don't think anybody's over there right now. Nope, nobody. So we ended. And that's gonna make it easier for me on this side because I'm just gonna switch over to try something different. I want to try maybe. Let's check out Roamstead. Let's check out Roamstead. I'm curious. These folks have actually invited me to their alpha testing. But I can't do the alpha testing online. They won't let me because it's an alpha, right? So let's see here. Oh wait, hold on a second. Oh no. Can I not play it because too much time passed? Oh no, I can't play it because too much time passed. Shit. It was a time limited demo. I didn't realize that. Ah, crap, dude. Okay. What about let's build a dungeon? That was the other one that I wanted to try. Okay, that one works. Okay, we'll try that instead. Bummer. Thank you for the raffle tokens. Heating up a late lunch. What's for lunch? Okay, so I have no idea what the hell I'm doing over here, but let's check this out. Let's get this part, and then we gotta get this part. All right, so here we are. Let's build a dungeon. How's the volume on the game? It seems a bit loud. Is it loud? It seems loud. Let's try there. That's a little better now. Seems better. All right, cool. Okay. Let's play the campaign. Drainvid, hi. How are you? You suddenly want to play some Stardew Valley? Hey, by the way, did you see there's a new game that's coming out? Hold on. One moment. Let me just check this. There's a game coming out on April 13th. It is called Seeds of Calamity. Right here. This game looks like it could be very cute. So there are already 185 reviews. I don't know how that's possible, but is it already out? It's out? Wait, hold on a second. Oh, there's an update. That's what it is. Oh, okay. Hold on. Seeds of Calamity. It's been out for a while now. Their 1.0 launch is on the 13th. So there's going to be a big update. But yeah, this one looked kind of cool too. It reminded me of Stardew Valley a lot as well. So, it has that Stardew Valley vibe, but it also kind of has the, what do you call it?
The hell's the name of that game? Like Slay the Spire? Like Slay the Spire style combat, it looks like. Kind of weird. But it looks kind of interesting. I don't know. Could be good, potentially. But yeah, I haven't, I've got like a key for that if I want it. They'll give me a key for that if I want. Looks like a bit Zelda-ish too. Yeah, a little bit, yeah. All right. So let's just randomize a little bit. Perfect. I've never seen something so beautiful in my entire life. It's basically a square. Okay. Let's go. Hi, this is the game engine. You should add some decoration to the town zone before we start testing the game. Okay. This is the town zone, eh? Decorations, floors, lights, and nature. Let's do, let's see here. Signboard, golden pot, oak steps, floors. Here we go. So this is like a... Interesting. Okay, so if you click on something that already exists with the type that you have, it actually deletes it. So it's one click, just left click for both functions, deleting and adding. Interesting. So this is the town area where people start. This tiling. Fix it! I guess that they have fixed it, actually. I guess this is like showing the shadows. And this side, this is like the side that the sun is hitting. So there's no shadow. Lights. Let's see here. Do we have dirt paths? I don't know where I'm going with this, though. Quite literally. Wonder, can I rotate this? Looks like a no. Hey, okay, hold on. Right click rotates. Okay, there we go. Cool. Town pin level up. Okay, sure. Add building the decoration to a zone to increase buildable space. Okay. That is fine. I guess that's fine. We'll do it like that. Oak steps, huh? Floors. Production point 6. So hold on, goal tracker. Expand your town before making your first design decision. Very ticky-tacky, everything proper. Straight lines everywhere.
Swear to God, when FF14 gives you options like what should we have to drink with breakfast, antifreeze, the purple orange juice, maybe some used engine grease. I would go with antifreeze. Let's go. Okie dokie. It's time to make your first design decision. Players are going to need something to do. Let's pick a character class. Oh, okay. Pick a hero class to get started. Mage. Okay. Explorer. Locked. Forager. Let's go with that. That's a good start, maybe. On select and confirm, you'll be able to spend points on the following. Forager, Botanical Codex Statue. Weed? Excuse me. Big brown rock. Mudroom. Like a mushroom. Hold on, let's see what else we can do. Maple trees. That's nice. Yeah, let's do that. We'll go with the mage just for the trees, maybe. A round tree, pine bush. Yeah, this is much better tile set. All right. We need to build quests for them to complete. Unlock a new quest, eh? Unlock new quests to build. Pick a new quest to add to the game. Grass seed. Denfelk is looking for grass seeds to improve their stew recipe. Unlock Denfelk and the tall grass, then place them into the world so that heroes can complete this quest. Lost cog. Gorno has lost an important component from his thistle mill. Perhaps a hero can help locate it. Unlock NPC Gorno and the tall grass, then place them into the world so that heroes can complete this quest. Okay. Gorno and tall grass. Got it. You've unlocked a quest giver. This person gives quests to the heroes that visit your world. Place assets for your quest. Okay. Got it. We gotta place Gorno into the quests here, or into the world. Items, NPCs. Here we go. Gorno. Gorno looks like a great person who's just gonna hang out right here. And now we need some tall grass. Gorno, seriously, what's your problem, man? You lost your cog literally right behind you, bro. Oh, my mouse just died. Hold on. Like, what the heck? There we go. Cardin is Demon King arc. That's right. You looked up Trees Hate You. It's hilarious. Yes, I saw the ending of that trailer where the two trees are just like smacking the person who's down in the middle of them. Pretty funny. She's more annoying than Alphino. Wow, that's you must really dislike her. Adding a tester. Okay. You paid for a tester. I will start automatically paying them to come every few minutes, but you can always click that button to get more. Okay. Wizard Girl has completed the quest. Excellent. New tester? Who dis? Unlock new quests. Oh, wow. Cartographers Guild. Damn. So they're really gonna let you build, huh? That's a tree. There's a tree with a gun. That's crazy. All right, so the quest is not built. Map Plumrose Village, and we need cartography office and Diano. Welcome to the asset sign-off tool. Spend production points to sign off assets in the bottom row. This unlocks them as assets you can use to build your game. Okay. Click assets in the bottom row to unlock them. Unlock something now. I don't wanna. Beware, opening up sets can fill up your backlog. Okay. Placeholder assets disappoint your players, breaking their immersion. Items and sets usually replace these with the final assets. Okay. Sign off on more assets. I guess we're doing all of them, I guess. Okay, what is this now? I'm gonna set up the cartography office. Hold on a sec. I just killed those two adventurers. They're now stuck underneath the cartography office for all time. Buried. NPCs. They are restricted to the cartography office. I see. Enter building. Interior layouts. Place assets. Okay. I don't know about that. Exit. Okay. But I want to go back in. Because I really want to, I wanted to remove one of those, but there we go. Can I? Okay, that's fine. Got it. They had it coming. Also skipping quest dialogue. Oh, always skipping quest dialogue. They're buried with work. That's right. 100%. I have a new quest that I can do. Or add here. Why don't we do this? Not enough backlog slots. Okay. Select an asset in the backlog to prioritize. I see. So you can swap these as things come down, because you don't get them until you clear these, then they fall down like Tetris blocks. So, okay. The home. Okay, so where does this guy gotta go? Here, whoa. Okay. Well, that makes it weird. That definitely makes it weird. Let's see. I choose you. I don't know, man. I click the thing. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay, we good now. Yeah, let's put him in here. Jets cannot be placed in this area. They are restricted to Plummo's village house. Okay, we gotta get in there. This is where she gotta go. Jess, there you go. Neat color combos. Yeah, those were really bizarre ones. Out of this world. A little bit different than the norm, huh? So, I was about to say, so far, my impression of this game is that I'm just jumping through hoops. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of got that feeling with Graveyard Keeper too, that it was just kind of a go through the motions type of game, but at least it had more choice. So far, my only choices with this seem to be placement and what order I do the things in. Regardless of UFO abductions. The soup house. Okay, let's put it in the soup house. How are you gonna complain about a game that has a soup house? I know, for real. Covered spring, huh? Lagoon cave. There it is. Let's do some trees. Interesting. Enter the dungeon. Okay. Dungeons let you build floors with a terraform tool. They also have build requirements you need to meet. These can be reviewed in the goal tracker. Lagoon Cave Spawn Tower. Underground level, deeper level. Okay, hold on. Add enough decoration to your dungeon to level it up in order to unlock more floor space. Okay. Interesting. Spawners. Indestructible turret. Do you think if I make a bunch of indestructible turrets and all the NPCs die, they'll cry? Dungeon level up. Okay. Good fucking soup. That's right. Like, I don't understand how I build more floors. Floor size. I can't seemingly type or add any of these, really. There is a Fa King out in the West Valley, is there? Yeah. Nice.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Yo, what's up, Throrcrum? Howdy, buddy. Just evil, man. Just evil, chat. Surya. Hit me with a B-sod. I'm like, oh shit. Especially with new game, it's like, oh crap, did I actually crash? And then you read the text and you're like, ah. No, I did not. Chat's just evil as per usual. I don't understand this. What do you want me to do here? Build 150 floor tiles in this map. I can't. It won't let me. Like, I can't go outside this tiny little cube. Place assets for your quest. Items. Spawners. Do I need to spawn another spawner? I just keep placing the spawners over and over and they just keep annihilating them. What a weird dungeon. Again, the main issue is that I can't seemingly expand it at all. Like, what? If I could actually make the floor larger, that would be fine. Terraform. Here we go. Paint. Yeah, okay. Really, that should have been something that was kind of accessible from that tile thing. You'd think it would just override it, but I think this is like the base world, basically. And then those tiles are not like adding a tile, it's just like decoration on top of the existing core floor, if you will. All right, now we'll go fix all this stuff. And get rid of all of it. There we go. Starting with a clean slate. That was not super understandable. Yeah, they just gave you this thing. I don't know, was there any indicator on there that showed like, hey, this is what you're supposed to click now? Let's see. I don't know if they can get to that. I was hoping that maybe they couldn't. Then it would just keep spawning things. I guess it's a no. Get rid of that there. So 3 indestructible turrets need to be placed. Okay. Enjoy. I'm going to have them go through an absolutely impossible maze of just automatic destruction. Perfect. This is the best dungeon that has ever been made. Clearly. Where the spawner at? I can't help but notice that the NPCs seem to be having some difficulty getting to the end over here where the spawners are. It's a real shame. They say that there was a game review has been posted. I bet it's like 0 out of 10. The game devs are bastards. You're not following the Demon Lord standards. You must let them level up so that they can defeat you. No! None of that, you! Alright, place assets for my quest. What do I need still? Oh, maybe I need to do more terraforming. Ah, yeah. It's fast how, or it's funny how fast it goes. You know? Is this like tower defense? No, basically you're like building an MMO is what it is. Like you're building like a little virtual MMO. Let's get back to this and we'll go over here and actually let's delete this so that they can get to the second part of the cave here. Because they can't even get out here yet. There we go. Now they can though. This is just a bastard way of doing things. Let's make it one long line of indestructible turrets the whole way. It's just such a disappointment. This is the main issue with games these days. They're confusing. I can't find the covered spring anywhere. I needed to complete a quest from Chloe. I remember when games were games. Tennis for 2. That's a proper game. This is rubbish. Rubbish. I can't find the damn lagoon. You know what? You want to find the lagoon? Hold on. Is there like a sign or something? Shows them. Oak bench. Oak steps. Arrow signboard. There you go. And actually, I've made it the wrong way. My options are right or left, but we need to go north. That's not helpful. Let's delete it. Here we go. We'll put the big complex signboard right here. Okay. This is a much cozier game than I thought it was. But I'm not sad. There we go. Okay. Look at all the busy little players, right? So you are the lazy dev that everyone complains about. That's right. That's me. It seems like they're having some difficulty. They can't get over here. They're just staying over here, huh? Hmm. It needs to be a deeper level. Wait, hold on. Does this go to like the next level down? Is that what this is? Hold on, let's do some more terraforming. Let's fix this. Okay, so we need just a little bit more. Got it. So that goes down to the next level. So we can click that to enter the dungeon, like go down another level. You know what I'm going to do here, right, chat? And if you made it this far... the whole way. This is a rat bastard dungeon. These are indestructible turrets. And then at the very end, like a pot, like just a pot that has like nothing in it. That'd be hilarious. Perfect. I have never seen a better dungeon in my entire life. It simply does not get better than that, chat. Actually, let's get rid of that. And we'll put that right up here at the top. There we go. How do I go back one level? Build 150 floors. Or 150 floor tiles, rather. Well. Oh, okay. That opened up. So way down here, we got the covered spring. Here, let's do this. These are just decorations, apparently. Okay. No, literally nobody has made it down here. No one has managed to make it down here because the dungeon is too much of a bastard. I should probably let them make it, right? Kind of like the goal, probably. The person who made this game is an asshole. I hate the music, but the game is okay. Excellent. We're crushing it. Yeah, they can't get past this. This gauntlet of... Nobody... Oh, look at this. Connection lost. Trying to reestablish the game server. Cannot connect to game server. Oh, what is this? IRQ chat. Interact really quickly with the leading chat application for chatting online. Card is picturing chat and getting his revenge on us when he lays out the dungeon design. 100% Donkey Duff. Select a profile picture. Clearly that's me. Employees, Lord Richard. Hello, I am Lord Richard, your boss. My boss? No one is the boss of me. My boss? Yes, well, you run the company, but I am the one paying for all of this. So the servers seem to be playing up again. I saw the Steam demo just dropped connection. I actually thought it crashed. I hope not. Hopefully you tested the demo enough before releasing it on Steam. If it's bad, the forums on the product page are they're going to be full of complaints. There's a typo there. That's very ironic. They are already. Well, people do like to complain, especially me. Dungeon Keeper 2.0, DDoS, that's right. Anyway, I think the game is back up and running now. People love the game. That's great to hear.
When you get back to the office, we can discuss that next milestone payment. The demo server won't be up too much longer. We're going to reset everyone's progress in a bit. I'll be in game as usual, entertaining our fans. This is like a play on Lord British. You guys know Lord British, the Ultima guy? Game link. 73% of players hate this game. Can't find the covered spring. The quest you get from Chloe is impossible. There's no place to craft. Soup broth quest is broken. Soup broth quest doesn't work. soup broth quest doesn't work. Man, people are so sad. Look at this. Let's build a zoo. That's a different game that they made. All right, how do I get back to the game? World editor. Checklist. More people think game is more finished than it really is. The popular gaming storefront and launcher. Wayfarer Chronicles. That's my game. Let's play. New game. No! I guess it's just Cardinal for today. Platinum Bob, huh? Executive producer Lord Richard. Interesting. Is this like the end of my demo? Developer account. They're right, the music is bad. Look at that, I did my own quest, chat. Amazing, right? It's crazy that you can play it after this. Okay, let's go try to do our quest, eh? It's gonna be ridiculous. This is gonna be a ridiculous fail, chat. I made it! No, I can't get through! There's no way to get through! Oh, who made this dungeon? What a loser! Oh! All right. Get back to work. So how do I resume working? Steam demo is coming to an end. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Pretty close to shutting off the servers, deleting the data, and getting ready to launch the game. When are we launching? You told us early 2023, so we're already around 3 years late. As your investor, I just want to say we better launch it soon. Investors rarely like games.
Don't forget, I made Ultimatum. I am the father of online games, the master of the MMORPG. My DNA is in gaming. We are permanently connected. Unless I am in space or in a sub trying not to get stuck under the Titanic. This is so hilariously meta. Anyway, thanks for giving me the option to set up my character with invincibility. I'll be there when the game goes offline, just hanging out watching the end of the world happen live. That's really funny. So, like, Lord British, he actually went to space, and he's been in a submersible that had issues near the Titanic. So it's pretty funny. Nathan. I liked Let's Dwelb a Zoo a lot. It's my favorite game because of the pigs and lions, but I like Let's Dwelb a Dungeon even more. That's great. Thank you for making such nice games. I made a present for you. Really? Kid fan art. Dude, you know this has to be real too, right? That's so cool, but interesting. I just wanted to let you know I will always play your games. Well, we can add you to the game as a character if you want. Could you? That would be a dream come true. Of course, Nathan. We want to support our players. Don't stop drawing. One day you can become an amazing game artist and work with us. Good luck. That has to be a picture of the kid, right? If so, this is like incredibly cute if that is actually the case. That's so cute. Server shutdown is imminent. No! Not until we fix it. Not until we fix... Shut up, Lord Richard! No! Oh, fuck!
My goodness. I am dead. They dead to kill me. Release the monsters. This server will go down in glorious, unbridled chaos. Let no one survive.
It's really good. It's a really good lampoon of Lord British. That's funny. Empty the bar to win. Wait, what? Spawn monsters to kill all players? I can't spawn things outside of the dungeon? Really? There will be so many. Server offline. Well, that was unexpected. It was disappointing. It was rather terrible, I agree. Those players killed me. Also a thing that happened. In Ultima, his own game, the players actually managed to kill him in a PvP scenario, and it was pretty funny. Why did I fund this trash? Let's build a dungeon is terrible. That's what I think. Perhaps I should sell the IB to somebody else, like Microsoft. Microsoft likes buying things. Maybe I'll try them. Well, the game is pretty bad. Agreed. Perhaps you can help me out. Someone as critical as you could help make the game better. On the title screen, there's a feedback form. I'd love it if you'd fill it out. I think the folks at Springloaded should keep their jobs. There we go. All that negativity will give me enough evidence to fire everybody. I think they should keep their jobs. Well, that's very generous of you. Perhaps you want to pay their salaries. Me, I want to buy another yacht. Anyway, thanks for playing. And please fill in that feedback form. That's pretty funny. That's pretty damn funny. What a cute little game, chat. That was very interesting. What do you think? Is there actual multiplayer? Because if there is, that'd be pretty damn cool, man. Building dungeons together, right?
So has anybody ever played Let's Build a Zoo? Just curious. This is kind of cool. They need to make a GabeN mode. Are you sure you want to quit? Feedback form. Was this your first time playing? Yes. I did not play Let's Build a Zoo. How did I play? On keyboard and mouse and in English. What screen resolution did I use? 1440p. Please confirm which version number of the build you used. I used 0.0.q or 2-q. Yeah. Let's see. Did I play campaign? I did. How long did I play campaign mode for in total? I don't know. Let's see. We played a total of 30 minutes. How would I rate campaign mode? I would say 7. 7. Which class did you pick? Explorer. What was your favorite part of campaign mode? Dropping into the game I had made to experience it myself. Cool. Also, the meta jokes about Lord British. Was there anything you didn't enjoy about campaign mode? When trying to expand my dungeon, I used the decorative floor tile, but that did not create additional dungeon space. I needed to use the terraforming tool, and I somehow missed that. Maybe an indicator on the icon to use the terraformer at that moment. Would help. Okay. Did I get stuck or confused? Yes. That one. See above, right? See above. Do you have any specific feedback about the world building mechanics? I guess it seems like a lot of jumping through hoops initially. And not really understanding how your choices impact later gameplay. Yeah, do you have any specific feedback about play mode where you play the game you've created through GameLink? It was awesome. And fun. I made my dungeon really hard, and so I realized what a jerk I was to the players pretty quick. If you could change one thing about campaign mode, what would it be? I don't know. What would you change, really? I mean, what would I do? Try to give the player a better understanding of what ramifications their choices will have for the long term. But when those mechanics are introduced. Does that make sense? Like I want to know if
for example, like when I placed the spring way up to the north, I was just like, that's just a nice aesthetic choice. The dungeon should be out of the town, right? But then I started getting complaints that people couldn't find the dungeon. Probably because it was too far from the center and it was outside of my green square area. I had no idea that would be the case, you know? So kind of interesting. Did the game crash? It did not. Let's see here. Did you play just build mode? No. Did you play creative mode? No. Well, campaign was my favorite because I played it. Overall, did you have fun? Yes. Do you think you'll buy the game when it comes out? Maybe. Anything else? Great work. This type of a simulator game. Simulation. Game is hard to develop. Especially when you have drop-in mechanics. Crazy stuff. There. Okay. Yeah. That's really cool. Thank you thank you from everyone at Spring Loaded. That was very nice. Very cool. Yeah, that was a nifty little game. Nifty little game, chat. Let me catch up on chat here. Let's see. Yeah, you were there. It wasn't a PvP thing. There was an event where Lord British was making an announcement in character in the game. Someone hacked the game and killed his unkillable character in the middle of the event. Okay, got it. Did you see the news that they're going to let people self-host Dune servers in the near future? I didn't, but that's great. That's great news. They do. So Ryan, they just made huge changes to the deep desert as well. Now PvP is not required any longer, which is what all of their players want. They had like a super hardcore PvE role-playing group of like fans from Conan Exiles, and then they like put this endgame PvP mechanic in that like only the hardcore Rust players basically wanted, and like streamers for content. And then they realized like actually they didn't want that because it was buggy and laggy, and when anybody would get together to do things, it would kind of, the performance wasn't great, and it caused a lot of issues like undermeshing and stuff like that caused a lot of heartache. That combined with the decay, where like, so for example, Voided bought that game, and he never buys games and he never plays games, okay? But he saw it and he was like, that looks really nice, and it's a survival crafting game and it has a lot of hype. I'm gonna get that. So he got it and he played it, and when he told me that he bought it, I was like, oh, did you really? Because I given the track record of Funcom, I already knew where this was heading. And he's like, yeah, why are you acting surprised? I'm like, oh, well, you do know, like, this is the type of game where you have to keep playing, and they're like upkeep costs and stuff, and if you don't keep paying them, then your stuff just goes away. It just gets destroyed. And that mechanic also, combined with the PvP at endgame, it drove most of the player base away, and people stopped playing the game, right? So now they're reversing their decisions. They're saying, whoa, actually, PvE is okay at endgame, and actually, we're going to let you self-host now so that people can kind of run the world the way that they want to run the world. And this is probably for the best, honestly. Yeah. Those are good decisions. I rubber stamp those. Absolutely. Very, very cool. I didn't know that they were going to allow people to self-host, but I had heard about the PvP changes for Deep Desert. So, Donkey Def says, I thought he had made himself mortal for some reason. I can't remember why, and someone ganked him. Interesting. Nah, he was making his first appearance in the game as that character and was killed by someone who hacked the game to allow his character to one-shot anyone with an attack. He used it on Lord British and he succeeded, lol. Well, that guy's infamous now. Yeah, you really got the sense that some executive over there was a friggin' idiot that didn't know what they were doing and that the game suffered for it. Yeah, I mean, I think this is one of the things that's really hard. when you are a developer, and even for me, like as a streamer, okay, I get a lot of feedback, okay, about like what is working, what is not working, what I should play, what I shouldn't play, how I should conduct myself, how I shouldn't conduct myself. And part of my job, one of the hardest parts, is trying to understand what is noise and what is signal, right? And I'm sure that these developers suffer from that same problem where they're getting a ton of feedback from all over the internet, and they're just kind of used to getting certain types of feedback. And sometimes in game development, and just with anything in life that you are trying to build, you have a vision that doesn't align with the potential person who may be wanting to use it or be a part of it, right? And that can be hard sometimes, but ultimately, and this is why everything is so, like media in general right now, it's why like there's so much stuff that's just so samey, boring, rehash, remakes of old shows because they're safe plays, like that kind of stuff that's happening in just media in general, because there's a lot of money at stake, right? So nobody wants to offend anybody. Nobody wants to push away potential customers. And so what you get is kind of this jack of all trades, master of none mentality for products, services, and games. And ultimately, you don't really get a game that really fits all of the needs and desires that you might have as a gamer. Whereas maybe even as like recently as like a decade ago, you could find those types of games, right? Like you literally could find a game that was like your niche game, right? Like for me, that game was 7 Days, right? It was like a niche game that I was like really into. And at the time, not a lot of people were into it. You know, like when it first came out, I was like a big stan from day one. As a matter of fact, I think I bought the game for you, Best Ryan Ever. I bought it for a bunch of my friends back then. This was long before I was a streamer. And yeah, there's just something to be said about how you, as the kind of the person at the helm, has to translate that signal and noise. And it's one of the hardest things to do. It's like, what is really truly important feedback, and what is feedback that you can just say, yeah, that's not really where I want to go with that. That's not my vision here, you know? And I think that's probably the trap that they fell into, was that surety that they had the best idea for their project. But ultimately, you know, when the majority of your audience thinks differently than you, they're no longer your audience. That's generally how that works. They go find somebody else who better aligns with, you know, a game that better aligns with their way of playing. So I totally get it. I think it's hard. I think it's really, really hard. But yeah, those are my thoughts on that. I don't know. Maybe a few salient points in there. Maybe I'm just blowing smoke out of my ass today. I don't know. We'll see. Often better than a master of one, right? So jack of all trades can be really useful for some things, depending on what you're going to do. Like for me, I've done a little bit of music stuff. I've done a little bit of like programming stuff. I've done a little bit of game programming stuff. I've done some Twitch integration stuff. You know, I've done a lot of these things, and if I can ever pull them all together and coalesce them into one project, man, it's going to be pretty cool. With Dune, you could tell that the devs were trying to do a good job, but you could tell that whoever the key decision maker was over there was trying to brute force the game they wanted onto the audience. Yeah. I mean, the way that I see it is the more agency you give your players within your framework, the better. So the way that I see it is right out of the gate, they should have had options where there was literally no PvP at all, even in the deep desert. Make those servers available to players and let them play. Why would that hurt them at all? Why would that be terrible? They have to maintain 2 branches or a configuration file, you know, to kind of set that up and make it possible or impossible, depending on what you're talking about. I don't know. I don't think it's too bad. But yeah, there was definitely a big ball drop. They had a They had so many sales. They had so many sales for Dune. I mean, even I bought it, right? Even I got the game. And, man, I don't know. It feels like a big miss. And now maybe it's too late. The ship sailed. The only thing that I can think is that with the new Dune movie coming out, when does that come out, by the way? Dune 3? Is it this, No, it's this December. I remember because, this is pretty funny, but, you know, Doomsday is supposed to come out, this December as well. And Doomsday had to move its, release date. And unfortunately now, Doomsday and Dune 3 have the same release date. But Dune 3 is the one who secured the rights to IMAX. So if that holds, Doomsday is literally going to release in theaters with no IMAX availability on the opening weekend and the following 2 weekends. That seems not good. I don't know about you guys, but these days, like if I go to see a movie, typically I'm like, yeah, I'll splurge the extra few bucks for IMAX. You know? The game is still really good, but they shot themselves in the foot with their design decision mistakes, and as a result, they cut back funding, which means the devs aren't able to deliver as high a quality each release. I mean, do you know that for sure? Did they cut funding? Like, did they lay people off at Funcom? I'm curious. I mean, it's possible. I mean, that's crazy. They sold over 1 million copies within 2 weeks back in June 2025. Oh yeah, right here. They did. They restructured. Restructuring involves an undisclosed number of employees being let go as the company shifts from development to long-term live operation and prepares for a console release of Dune in 2026. The layoff specifically impacted The Outsiders. That was a subsidiary studio that was known for Metal Hellsinger, which was completely shut down with all staff affected. I mean, that makes sense. Metal Hellsinger came out and I don't think it did very well. I don't think Metal Hellsinger did very well. It had a really interesting mechanic idea, though. So, I don't know if you guys know this game, Metal Hellsinger. Here, I'm going to link y'all. Check this out. That's Metal Hellsinger. So, you need to slay to the rhythm. Okay? You have to slay to the rhythm of the beat. It is a rhythm FPS. So pretty interesting. You can also tell from server performance that they drastically reduced funding for those. Yeah, you know what my fear is with this announcement, Ryan, is that they're gonna go the route of Wildcard Studios, the Arc Studio, and they'll create a exclusivity deal with a host, and you'll only be able to get your server through that particular host. And then there's some sort of agreement with that host that every time that it's hosted, they pay money back to Funcom on a monthly basis. Right? And this is exactly what Arc did. They still allow you to self-host if you want to, but Arc does at least. But you literally could not have like a third party other than their prescribed third party to have an like kind of dedicated server host of the game. You know, so that was ultimately why I didn't play the new Arc. It was that decision. You could see that if there's a bad decision they could make, they seem eager to make it. That is, I mean, I hate to say it, Ryan, but that's basically the way Funcom has been for a while now. I don't know if you know this, but back in, I think it was, when did we try to do Conan again, guys? Maybe it was like October, early November, I want to say. And I spent like a full day and a half, like pulling stuff out of the archives, getting it set back up in my various bots and utilities and getting it all squared away to be used again. And we fired it up. And on day one, we discovered a bug that would make it impossible for us to continue. And that was, if you die 3 times quickly in a row to any monster, they fully dropped aggro, and you could literally just sit there and punch them to death. It was pretty bad. That's a pretty bad bug. It even worked on bosses. So if the boss killed you 3 times, it literally just, the AI just stopped and it just sat there. You know? So, I don't know. Yeah, you remember that I really struggled with Conan, and being naive, you thought maybe that sweet, sweet Dune money might allow them to make a more solid, well-supported game. Well, you know, there were a lot of things that did improve with the Dune, like the base building mechanics. I felt like those got a lot better. Just the way that the control worked for like where you placed foundations and walls and things, that seemed to be a lot better overall. And the combat was, I mean, the thing of it is, like, the way that I felt that the game was set up is that essentially when you got like the tier 1 weapon and armor, and then you went and you did the quests for that area, like, it basically just felt like you couldn't be killed, you know? Like, unless you made a really dumb mistake. And then you'd get the tier 2 stuff and you go to the tier 2 areas, right? And then it was like you couldn't be killed there. And it's just like it just repeated over and over and over again. Everything up until endgame was really well done and engaging. Once you got to endgame, you realized that there wasn't one, and you were just grinding for no real purpose. That's the problem with all of these games, dude. All of these, okay. So this is my like game design rant about endgame. All of these live service games put you on a treadmill, and their goal is to keep you walking for as long as possible. Okay? It's like the digital long walk. Okay? We want to keep you walking for as long as humanly possible, but joke's on you, there literally is no end. So you will collapse and die along the way. And that moment is the moment that you find out that the juice isn't worth the squeeze. That you basically, a lot of players are still playing these games because of sunken cost fallacy. You know, they're like, well, I've been doing it for this long, I should probably just keep going. There's going to be some better content coming at some point, right? No, there isn't. They are literally just going to bleed you dry. And that's sad. I think I have a solution for that end game problem that will keep hardcores engaged long term and would also be newbie friendly. That said, it borrows from the EQ mindset. Like, if anybody here has played EQ, if you know about alternate advancement, basically it would give at end game, you know, once you're max level, you can continue to grind and continue to level up essentially, but it's just minuscule, like such a low amount of additional power. But over the long term, it could make a difference, right? The key is that you palette swap enemies, and now you have new enemies, right? That's right. Alternate advancement keeps you playing forever. Horizontal progress, right? Exactly. Lateral progress is where it's at. And yes, occasionally there should be, you know, after many years of like having the same content, or even putting out DLCs or additional areas, you know, everything's still kind of samey. It's just more about like additional choices that you can make, like in the framework. There can be a step up eventually, but that should be avoided as much as possible. The problem is that the developers of today have really gotten into this method of, or rhythm of, constantly putting you on the treadmill, having their most hardcore players burn out the content as fast as possible. They quit in droves, leaving like a casual group behind that hasn't maxed it all out, and also the players that just love the game for the love of the game, right? But all the hardcores leave because there's no content for them. They're burned out and they don't, you know, they've done it all. And then they come out with another DLC, and then the casuals are, you know, trying to catch up. You got hardcores that burn it all out again, and the whole process just repeats over and over and over again. And that is, in my opinion, that's why Final Fantasy XIV is dying. Because they just keep doing this, stay on the treadmill, we're going to give you more of the same, more of the same, more of the same, more of the same. And it's like, even, and again, I'm not trying to shit on Final Fantasy XIV specifically. I'm mentioning this because it's the MMO that I played the most and most recently. A lot of MMOs fall into this category, but this is the one that I'm most knowledgeable on as of right now. And that is, for all the content that I experienced personally, which is not all of it, and for some of the content that I've seen out there, like in videos and stuff, there are, like, even because of the design that they have to follow because of the console involvement in the game, there is a very limited amount of resources that they can put into things like the environment, because they have to put them into, like, the player characters and the enemies, right? Like that computational power has to be spent on those assets. So what you end up finding is in a lot of the dungeons, the layouts were similar. The shapes of the rooms are very basic. Like squares and circles, platforms floating in space. Like, I can't tell you how many dungeons there are in Final Fantasy where it's like literally just like a platform that appears to be like in the middle of space. You know? And again, it's because of those console constraints, but it does give you this feeling of sameness over and over again. And I think that that is also one of the things that, because it's an old game now, right? So you really do need something really drastically new to keep players interested. Player interests shift extremely fast. I mean, look at how fast Hytale fell off. It was like 2 weeks. It went from being like the #1 game on Twitch to under 1,000 viewers. 2 weeks. That's your window. That's all you get. If you can't keep them, that's it. They're moving on. You know, if you can't hold their interest. Pretty rough. You have so many thoughts on your ideal survival crafting MMO type game would be. Yes. So actually, I don't know if you know this, Ryan, but Voided and I, the last time that I was with Voided, actually, we sat down and we wrote out literally all of the ideas that we have for what makes the best type of a survival crafting game. And to me, the #1 thing is learn by doing. Learn by doing is the way to do things. And you might have a learn by doing with restrictions, but still learn by doing is the best way to do things. Fallout 76 had an interesting solution with their One Wasteland update a couple of years ago. What was that, Spaghetti Goblin? Also, hi. What was their solution to the with this One Wasteland update thing? I'm curious. But yeah, alternate advancement is a great thing. It's like, it basically allows you to keep leveling. Like, the amount of XP is just the same over and over and over again, but every time that bar fills up, you get a very, very, very incremental increase in your strength. Like a 0.01% more to crit or something, you know? And it doesn't sound like much, but there are hardcore players that will play the absolute out of your game, and they will get to the point where it's like they're fully maxed out on even the AA points, right? Like, you've seen that, right, Cyric, in EQ, where it's just like people are just maxed the fuck out, and it's crazy, and they've been playing the game for like years. You know, it's pretty wild. ESO does a really good job with their end game. Cyric goes, oh yeah. Yeah, basically they scale everything dynamically for each player in a server. So for me at level 450, I can fight the same end game boss as a level 25 player, but the enemy will be much stronger to me. i.e. my shots are debuffed. It hits me harder than them, so everyone can play any of the content, making it easier to make new content too, because they don't have to focus on levels of difficulty of content. I see. So now how does that work when, like, is there like a party mechanism in Fallout 76? Like, do you join parties together to go do content as a group? Or is it just like, hey, let's just adventure together and I'm standing beside you? Yeah, like level scaling. Yeah, like City of Heroes did that pretty well too. City of Heroes, City of Villains. I like the way that they did things too with that. Final Fantasy 11 too. Just everything in the world is like that, whether it's in an instance with your team or not. It's just based on your strength. So how does that work if you start fighting something and then somebody else starts fighting it too? So like you start fighting something and it's got like 1,000 health because you're super high, but I'm level 1 and I come over and I hit it while you're fighting it. Like, does it keep the strength that you have, or is it just that your damage is like percentage based? So like when you shoot it, maybe you do 10% damage. When I shoot it with a similar low level gun, I'm doing like 8% damage or something. It'd stay high level. ESO has alt advancement at endgame, and they do the same enemy scaling as Fallout 76. They also don't power creep. There are items from the base game that are just as valid for rating as drops from the previous expansion. See, that's good. In my opinion, that's good design. Because it doesn't invalidate the achievements and accomplishments of your player base. This is the problem that modern MMOs have in general, is that they constantly are wiping out your progress every few years when a new expansion comes out. Right? Like, think about like our situation, Ryan, when we were playing Burning Crusade. You know, we had good characters in Burning Crusade. Like our like in the guild, we had some really stacked players, right? And then Wrath came out, and suddenly all of that progress was just totally invalidated, with the rare exception. So it's just, that's never good. Again, player agency is really important, but respecting your player is more important than that. So it's based on the monster itself. No, on you rather than the monster itself. So it's different for everybody simultaneously. So how does that work then? So if I'm level 1 and you're the max level and we fight a monster at the same time, what should I expect? Like in terms of how much damage I'm doing and how much damage I'm taking. Compared to you. And I think the hard part of this is when you do scaling like that, it's like people want to feel stronger as they level up. And if they realize that their 450 level character is basically doing the same damage as a level 1 character, it's kind of like, well, why am I doing this? You would see a lower level monster, so its stats are different to you than me. You'd see a level 100 monster, and I would see level 50. So question, it's the same monster though? This is my scenario. You're fighting it and I'm also fighting it, but it has different stats for both of us. And yes, same monster. Got you. Okay. And that is the main criticism people have had. Yes. Yeah. The lobby will still see visible movement on the enemy health bar. The higher player will see more. Your contribution is weighted by your level. Got you. You have no idea how they do it under the hood. I have ideas. I have ideas of how they could do that, but it's pretty tricky, especially once you get into several unassociated, different leveled people. You know, it gets a little tough. Higher level means more abilities and tools. That's true. I mean, that is a piece of it. But I am also, like, for me, one of the main drivers for me is number goes up, make lizard brain happy, you know? So I don't know if that kind of stunts that vibe for me at all. I feel like it would a little bit. I haven't played it though, so I don't know. That definitely happens. That I would feel like a little bit stunted by it, or Lizard Brain is happy because numbers go up. I'm not quite sure. You know what? So we were talking earlier. I mean, we've been talking about game design stuff. Chat, let me tell you. In my mind, I have like a... Hold on here. Are you ready? I'm gonna run you. I'm gonna run you through it, chat. Are you ready? Here it is. Fantasy survival crafting RPG. Okay, these are my best ideas, as discussed with Voided, and where we've landed on a number of different things. Some of this is spitballing, but yeah. Best friend ever says, I don't know the exact mechanics, but there's almost like a base damage you deal that gets normalized. Then your abilities and alt leveling progress increase that damage by various percentages. I mean, that makes sense. That's kind of what I was thinking when it's like how you do that. Base damage at level 1 and 100 might be the same, but the 100 deals an extra 25% damage on top of that because of all their abilities and passives. Sure. So how does like experience work at that point? Like, is it like if I hit it once, I get an equal share? Or is it based on how much damage is done? Because these are the tricky design questions, right? Main problem late game is that it causes everything to become an absolute bullet sponge. Yeah. It sucks a lot of fun out of things. Yeah, well, that's the thing, because when you get to super high-end level, you want to feel powerful, right? Like, we've all, like, if you've played Borderlands, you know that vibe, like, when you get, like, a really good gun, and you're just blowing through the content, just, like, one-shotting these dudes, like, maybe, like, an epic shotgun or something, or, like, some crazy rocket launcher or something, and you feel really powerful, and you feel like, man, I earned this because I got all this XP, and I've done all this adventuring, and now I've got this crazy-ass gun that is just obliterating everybody, and that feels really good. But the problem is always, like, how do you balance? That game balance is literally the hardest thing, I think. Epic sniper rifle is so fun, right? Everyone gets full XP as long as you contribute a certain amount before it dies. As a healer, it tracks how much healing you do to other contributors. Got you. That's good. That's good. I like that. Oh, you're talking about ESO, I'm assuming. Because are there Fallout healers? Because if so, I'd like to know how that happens. they throw some sort of med kit at you. Like, how does that work? Nuka-Cola, they'd smack you in the face with it. Right, epic sniper rifle in Borderlands is so much fun. Right, absolutely. Yeah, so when Voided and I last discussed this... Hi, Sammy. Hi, buddy. Sometimes he just jumps up randomly. It's cool. Want to say hi? Off he runs. ESO is the most casual friendly MMO out there. They have a lot of respect for their players' time. Yeah. Unfortunately, no, that's one class that doesn't really exist. Although there are some, like, sort of healer builds. There's a perk that lets flame weapon heal you. Your favorite was the Quack Surgeon perk, where you can revive people with alcohol. Nice. Smelling salts. Get up, fool! So, this is... these are, like, the issues that Voided and I had with modern survival crafting games, and kind of where our thoughts are on what a game that... if we were to make a game, what it would look like, right? So, the number one thing that I think is terrible is lack of endgame. You need boss POIs that are immutable, meaning that you cannot change the ground or add blocks to them. so that the player is forced to go through the content the way that you have prescribed, because that is a linear, self-contained adventure, right? And a challenge that you balance for. Inside these POIs, you would find rare materials, which would allow you to upgrade your items, probably multiple times, right? Because the idea is that you would want to be able to do these POIs not just once, but multiple times. In a game that has random world gen, it's nice that these locations would just be spread out throughout the world, but also it would be important for them to have some level of procedural generation as well, at least on the dungeon generation itself, so that it's kind of a surprise what you're going into each time, because this is content that you will repeat, right? It's like, remember, like, even the vibe of like, wow, hey man, do you want to go do slabs, Ryan? You want to go do slabs with me today? I need some slabs. I'm trying to get a piece of gear to drop off the end boss there. You want to go do that with me real quick? Let's go. Right? And we would just grind slabs. You just grind it, you know? Grind slabs and over and over and over and over and over and over, trying to get that one piece of gear to drop. And the thing is, most players didn't mind that because it was cathartic in a way. The repetition, the knowing what was coming around the corner, kind of becomes, in a way, comforting and nice. I don't know how else to describe that. The familiarity of it can feel welcoming, right? And so for me, what I think is you jumble up the end game POIs to make them repetitious by game design, but they're not repetitious in their content, so that it is always kind of same-ish, but new each time. And that can be procedural generation of the actual dungeon itself, including procedural generation of the encounters that are included in each of the rooms or areas, including even the loot that you may find procedurally generated. And I think that if you have good endgame crafting that rewards players for really sinking their materials into a particular weapon or into their gear, players now have a reason to go and repeat that material. Yeah, plus you were getting rep. Exactly. That too. That too. Right? You think having roguelike elements for bosses is a great way to keep endgame boss content replayable? Sure. So for me, that was like a big piece of it. Even doing something interesting, like, let's say we had this interesting idea of when you craft a powerful item, like let's say it's a very powerful item, maybe a server first or something like that. Maybe some sort of raid event occurs, you know, like, hey, this person just did this thing, and like the nasties of this world have been alerted to or are drawn to the power of this incredible item that you have just made. And now it's like this thing where it's like, dude, I got this awesome new item, but now the server's gonna suffer for it for a minute. Oh my God, what have I done? You know, like one of those you open Pandora's box type of deal. Now you have to fight for it. Like, fight for your right to keep this item. I'm not saying it would go away if you failed, but I'm just saying, like, it gives you a chance also to take it for a spin in front of a lot of people that would hopefully contribute on whatever defense efforts were happening, you know? And so that, I think that becomes really cool. It gives you like a little bit of notoriety. And again, this would be just for things that happen first. And I think this is, it creates community vibes. We don't have a lot of that in MMOs these days, you know? And I say MMOs, this is not an MMO, but just in multiplayer games in general, the community vibe is totally skewed. It's like, this is a single player game, and sometimes I get together with other players to do a thing. That's basically the vibe these days, right? So also the AA thing, and if there is Twitch integration, which I would definitely want for any game that I create, I believe that one of the interesting things that could occur would be for your Twitch integration to change based on your location and biome. So like if you're in a tundra area, maybe chat can like crack the iceberg that you're on and set a little piece of it loose out in the ocean or something, like some sort of like glacier type deal, iceberg type deal, or maybe it just opens up and you fall and take a bunch of damage, or there's a polar bear swarm, or like things that are really consistently within the scope of that biome and that environment. You know, because one of the cool things that I did when I was running my LAN center is I had a Lineage 2 private server that I personally ran, and later got a DMCA, well, I should say a cease and desist. I got a cease and desist from NCSoft for it, and rightfully so, right? Yeah, I guess my launchers were still like connecting to NCSoft servers and updating, and I didn't realize this. And so NCSoft contacted me. They're like, why do you have like all these machines connecting to our servers for updates all the time, but not any of them have logged into play? It's like, it's really making it very suspicious. And so we think you're up to no good, and if you are indeed infringing on our IP, you need to stop right now. I'm like, okay, that's fair. But while I had that thing up and running, we ran like GM events where GMs were on the servers making specific things happen for players. Ryan, I think you were part of that too. I think it was like me, you, and I think Mountain Man. And basically we became these kind of GM narrators for events. And it was really fun. It was really, really fun. I remember there was one time the like one of the parties went into a dungeon, and we basically ran a bunch of scripts to make it start collapsing. And they only had a certain amount of time to get out before the whole thing was gonna collapse. And by collapse, I mean they would like literally just be like murdered. Right. We did an ad hoc event with improv dialogue and enemy spawning. Yeah, it was great. It was a good time. So I just think that like having more reactive stuff based on the environment that you're in is really good. So again, that's one point of many here. There's a lack of party gameplay in these games now. Too much solo shit. We need like biome bosses, endgame POIs that are required groups. And I say require groups. If you don't have a group to play with, find one. That is my design choice. I don't care if you have a half hour to play. Find a group to play with for a half hour. That's the design of this game. And if you don't like it, my game isn't for you. That's it. That's it, straight up. This is not, you are not going to be able to solo all the content in this game and then just show up at endgame. That's not how that works. Not in mine. Nope. Not going to happen. I refuse. I don't care if it makes the game less popular or people say, oh, it's too hard. Too bad. This is my vision. So, yeah, I think that would be really, really good. Because again, I'm just sick of the lack of multiplayer and lack of collaboration in these games. Everybody just runs off and does their own thing, and kind of terrible. Best Ryan ever says, oh, that'd be cool. The item could have a baseline level of power. It gives you the option to defend an objective related to it. And if you do, the weapon gets more powerful. And if you don't, or if you lose, then the power drops back down toward the baseline. Yeah, I mean, that'd be very interesting. So create AI partners to play with you so you can still solo in a way. Gotcha, LOL. Yeah, no. I mean, I think, again, it's not going to be like centralized servers. I'd allow people to host their own servers. So if they want to do that themselves, they can, I guess. I can't stop them. But the general vibe would be you play single player, or multiplayer rather. Because I'm really over the fact that everybody just plays by themselves when these games, specifically these games, are meant to be social. They're social games. right? An MMO, why are you playing a massively multiplayer game if you just want to play by yourself? Like, I don't get that. I'm not punishing anybody. It would not be punishing anybody, but there will be stuff that you can't do if you're solo. That's just the way it is. Like, there's stuff in WoW you can't do it. Like, can you go do a mythic 20-man raid right now? Probably not. You probably don't have the gear for that. Is everybody gonna get to that point? No. That's okay. That's okay. A lot of people are like, well, I need to have everything that everybody else has. That's not the world. The world is a hierarchy. The sooner people realize this, the better. You know, like, it really is. There are going to be people that do certain things that achieve up here. They're going to people that have no interest in it at all, and they do their own thing. That's totally fine. Both ways are fine. The idea is, though, you want to create experiences for all players that people can enjoy. Right? And I specifically, as a social game player, want to create experiences that focus on social gameplay. Because someone likes the MMO game but hates people. I mean, so there are lots of games that are like single player MMOs offline. But I don't know, like, MMO gameplay is not really like the best. It's kind of like press a button, watch the thing happen. And that's because it's all online, and, you know, it's kind of hard to synchronize everything all at once. I don't know. If you only had 30 minutes in your game, they could go gathering or do crafting or beautify their house or living area or base or whatever. Or, you know, I'd love to see, like, you know, trading be a thing. That would be really cool. I mean, I think there's lots of stuff to be done. And the other thing is, like, so one of the games that I absolutely love is this game, Fantasy Life. It's for the 3DS. And I've talked about it a lot. You, essentially, it's like one of these things where you really shouldn't be able to do everything. Like, yeah, you're the hero of the story, but when you're playing with other people, it's really cool to be able to rely on other players. I think that's interesting. And it makes the other people feel cool too. It's like, oh man, I want to make this bow, but I don't have the right wood type. And my forestry isn't high enough to go get it. And then somebody else is like, oh, well, mine is. I can go get it real quick. That person feels really awesome in that moment. And the person who is looking to get that item completed feels really awesome in that moment too. Right? Yeah, I don't know. Bonus XP, loot, etc. for each additional player in the party. I'll get to that in a second. I've got a thing here about that too. So when people, this is the thing that I hate about modern games. That's what a lot of these are, is like the things that we dislike, that we would try to avoid. These are like pitfalls, right? So when people run ahead, loot everything, or kill all the things. Warframe. You ever play Warframe? You get into a mission, and it's like by the time that your screen fades the instance in to view, there's already a guy that's dashing straight ahead already. He's almost out of sight already. It's like, dude, I just got here, right? Same with Final Fantasy 14. You load into the instance, the tank is already running down the hallway, already pulling shit, and you're like, holy shit, I haven't even buffed anybody yet. It's crazy. I hate that, man. The lack of patience is unreal. So for me, I think the way that you fix that is you give an XP link buff for nearby players, which would punish anybody who runs ahead, right? If you run ahead and you start killing stuff in an instance content with 4 other players, and you're the one person, the outlier, you get nothing. No mercy, dude. You get nothing. This is a group game for group players. Play together. Stay within the XP link buff area, right? So, and the closer you are together, you get more, you get a buff to the nearby players. But also, I think that it would be interesting to have additional bonuses like flanking enemies would give a bonus to hit, or other types of bonuses of that you know, that nature. You get nothing and it plays the Gene Wilder meme. Perfect. I don't mind housing as long as it serves a purpose, not to just look pretty. Like have crafting station, have items that you get from instances and give you a short-term buff, things like that. Yeah. Well, this is a survival crafting game, so crafting will be a big part of that. And I, you know, in my mind at least, you would be creating a base. You know, you create a base. Right? And what do you put in your base? Well, crafting stations. Now, will every player be able to make every crafting station? Probably not. I really do believe that your choices have an impact. I really dislike the idea of a jack of all trades for everybody in every game ever. And that's exactly what it is now, because game developers are afraid to alienate their players. And I get it. They want to make money. If I made a game and spent years, you know, developing it, I would probably also want to make money. I think that's fair. Fair trade for the labor, right? But again, I think you sacrifice a lot when you make a game for everybody and you don't stick to your vision. Again, I don't want to punish per se. I just want to incentivize as best I can. Okay, maybe running ahead and giving the guy who runs ahead nothing. Maybe that's a bit harsh, but that's kind of where my mindset is. Like, just stay with your group. Like, stay with your group, do the content together. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of interesting. I just think it's very different from modern games. You know? So one thing that I hate is lack of individual loot. Everybody should get loot when something dies if they are, you know, within the parameters or conditions. Like they did at least so much damage or they did at least so much healing. Right? That way, there's no reason that everybody should be fighting over all this shit. You know, maybe there is one piece of loot that is a group loot. A group loot, meaning like it's just... this is the one crazy item that drops and now everybody has to roll on it, or, you know, that kind of stuff. But there should be at least something that everybody gets. You get tired of the shared loot pools. Right. And I think that there should be like a balance there. Like maybe if there's a crazy item that upgrades like your weapon, or maybe it's like a crazy weapon drop, maybe there is only one of those. That's okay. Because again, doing this content again, you should do it because the joy of repeating the content is good, that you're having a good time. Not that it's a chore or that you're just trying to grind it out because you want to hit level, you know, the level max or whatever it is. You should have fun doing the content as well. It should be engaging and interesting. That's why I'm saying I think it needs to shift slightly every run through of these endgame POIs. They really should be procedurally generated, with procedurally generated encounters, procedurally generated loot, with the exception of maybe like the very big bad evil guy at the end of the dungeon, right? Maybe there's a set loot, you know, tree specifically for that is static, that always has the same chances for things to drop, you know? And also, that's another thing too. Maybe I think there's a way to get around this shared loot pool thing. Like, let's say you're in a group with somebody and they get the good, awesome piece of loot. Well, you know what? You should get an increased chance the next time you run to get it. And you should keep that buff until you complete a dungeon. And it should stack. It should stack. So, like, for example, if you lose out on loot the first time, you get, like, plus 10% chance to get the loot next time you do it. Right? And I know what you're thinking is that people who have already you know, completed a dungeon, just got a piece of loot, well, why would they go in knowing that they don't have a good chance to get the end game piece of loot? Well, the idea would be that you're helping your buddy, because it is a multiplayer game that you're playing with a small community of people, because you're running the servers yourself. You know these people that are connecting, hopefully. But also, the second that you don't get a piece of loot, you also get that buff again. So your first run through, you're already back in the buff 10%, or whatever the percentage is, you know. I don't know. So yeah, the running ahead thing, I hate it. It really has to stop. Lack of individual loot, we talked about that. Lack of experience and leveling system. It's got to be learned by doing for crafting, gathering, and combat. 3 separate branches. Right? You learn by doing things. The more you do that one thing, the better you get at it. And that's that. Yeah, I don't really feel that bad about that. I think there are ways to keep it interesting though. Like, you don't have to be like 7 days where you just sit there and you make stone axes all day long. I think that's very boring, and there's got to be ways to kind of get around that. Like, maybe there's like a daily thing where each day, when you make one of, you know, any of the items that are available that give you skill, you know, maybe it gives you skill the first time, and then you got to get to the others that you haven't done. You do those, and it gives you some points, you know, or bonus, I should say. You can still make them, but it's gonna be a lot slower. If you're okay with that grind, that's cool, but it's gonna be slow, right? Compared to kind of doing it, diversifying, and then, you know, making it a lot, it'll be a lot more XP, right? That might make people exclude people from parties if they have a high bonus to get that loot. I mean, you got to think this is on a server that will have maybe 16 to 32 players at most, Gregory. So if those are like your friends, I don't know if those are your friends. You know what I mean? This is like, think about like in Minecraft right now. If I was like, oh, well, Gregory, you've got that high bonus percentage. I'm not bringing you into the dungeon with me and, you know, me and Sono Rojo and Seraphim and Hot Tortoise. You got to sit this one out. Like, dude, that's an asshole move. Right? It's kind of crazy. I don't know. I think, yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's got to be a way to balance it out though. But that's kind of where my mind is at now, is that maybe there will be some sort of increased chance to get that, you know, that good shared loot item or shared loot pool item that you roll on, you know. Maybe it just adds, maybe it's minimal. Maybe it's minimal at first. Maybe it's just like it adds 1% chance. And each time you fail to get the piece, it just keeps going up until you get one. Then it resets. Just as like we don't want you to go forever not getting any loot. You know what I mean? You know, Lone would tell you to piss off. Lone goes, maybe. Maybe I would. It's too funny. So another thing that I hate, people crafting weapons repeatedly and learn by doing systems for XP. Instead allow crafting XP only once when crafting an item per day. And then you crush that, right? You don't get the guy who just grinds there, sits there grinding the whole time. They would get such a massive bonus by diversifying the types of things that they create, which of course would require them to go and explore the world and get like resources from all over, as opposed to just grinding just stones and the most basic lumber so that they can just make stone axes all day and skill up, you know. And eventually, of course, they skill out of it. It's like, if I am a skilled artisan making you know, taking a twig and turning it into like a stick that I've whittled, that's not really helping my skill level. Right? Crafting mini games to keep you engaged. Crafting mini games to keep you engaged, but I think more than that, Cyric, they need to be quick, snappy, responsive, and give you a bonus to the quality of the item that you're creating. Right? So like, let's say I'm whittling a stick from, or whittling a tree branch or a twig into a stick, right? Well, maybe a stick is a component in another crafting recipe. Well, now I have just, you know, aced the minigame gameplay. And so now I get a, you know, for lack of a better term, high quality stick, right? This is a very Final Fantasy 14 type, EQ2 type way of crafting. But I think that they could have different levels of quality, and based on what you combine, the quality levels of things you combine, they get like a percentage chance to make the end product then higher quality, right? But you want to level you want to level your crafting like in Skyrim, 1 billion daggers. Right. See, like that's that way of thinking, we got to get rid of that one, right? What else? Losing progress with heavy integration. Right? Everybody hates that. Like, I love integration, but people hate losing progress with heavy integration. We've seen that a few times on our Minecraft server, right? So I say here, that the fix is, if you do have a penalty, like for when you die, if you lose stats or XP or anything like that, the fix, this is Valheim, right? Death penalty, once you die, there is a buff that you get that lasts for X amount of minutes. And if you die within that timer, it resets the timer. And until that buff is gone, when you die, you lose nothing. Right? If you die repeatedly over and over and over and over and over to the same thing over and over and over again, you're not going to lose any more XP. You're not going to lose any more of your progress, your stats. The other thing is, you know, when you die, I don't think that you should lose progress on like your crafting skills or your gathering skills. Like when you die in a combat, it wasn't because your crafting or your gathering wasn't proficient enough. It's because your combat capabilities weren't enough. So, you don't like the idea of penalizing people on death. Softy. You're soft. You're soft, old man. I like the idea of losing a buff or a bonus. Well, that will happen too. You'll lose your buff, you'll lose your bonus. I mean, that's a penalty. If you have it all the time, it's a penalty, right? And I don't think it needs to be severe. It just needs to be like a little nudge to say, oh, you died, so you lose a little, you take a little step back. You know? It doesn't have to be severe. And again, in my opinion, for me, this should be a configuration. Do you want to allow players to lose progress to their skills on death? Yes or no? Yes. What types of skills? Combat, gathering, crafting. Check the box. Okay. Now that you've done that, how much, you know, what percentage of skills should they lose? Or how many levels of skill, you know, should they lose on death? How long does that buff, the if you die within it buff, you get no penalty? How long does that last after the first, you know, penalty? 10 minutes? An hour? 5 hours? I think that should be all configurable by the player. The people that are running the server have those choices. Again, I strongly believe in player agency. A lot of this stuff, again, will be configurable. Like, do you want people who leave the immediate vicinity of the party to be able to kill monsters in an instance dungeon and still gain items / XP? Yes or no? What is the effective party radius? 50 meters, 10 meters. You choose. You choose. Again, I'm talking about like by default, this is where I would put things. But I strongly believe that those should be configurable choices made by the people that run the server. And quite honestly, in a moddable game, which this would definitely be moddable, people will do it anyway. Like if they don't like something, they're just gonna make a mod to undo what your design choice anyway. It is what it is. Who am I to tell them how to play? You know what I mean? That's all it is, right? So, what other things here? There's a few more on this list. Oh, streamer not engaging with summons that were summoned by chat. Okay, so this is the thing. For integration, I believe that after a time period, all summoned creatures should get weaker. Not immediately, but after a time they should. So that eventually they just like die and go away. Like literally they just fade away into nothingness eventually. That said, one of the problems that I foresee with this is that the streamer wouldn't engage with summons simply to try to run the clock. So I think the answer to this is to like give them a damage and a damage resist buff specifically against any sort of elite or boss mob that killed them, that was summoned by chat. But you get the best loot from summoned mobs if you don't die. So it's like chat summons the really super big bad. We're like, oh man, this guy, I know if I kill him without dying, I'm gonna get that that blue item that I need for my crafting. That's super cool. Or maybe I have a chance to get it at least. But if I die, I may not. So I gotta play really well right now. Try to play really well so that I can get this good thing. And again, that would just be with Twitch summoned stuff. Other problem is games that feel dead or lonely. It feels dead, lonely, and static. You walk up to a dude who's standing in a spot and you get a quest and he says, go kill 10 goblins. And you go and you kill 10 goblins. Then you walk back to him and he goes, thanks. Here's a gold pouch. Thank you. You saved me. You should go talk to Edward. He's down the street. He'll give you your next quest. Like, what? It just feels very static. I want more dynamic content with NPCs and with people in the world. I want to see them get involved with combats and fights. I want to see them repairing and fixing things while they're under siege. I want to see them walking and running around. I want to see them living their lives, like logging and, curing hides and stuff like that, so that it can be really interesting, interesting and fun. Let's see here. Oh, okay, that's awesome. On point 1. Yeah, you can post them if you want, Wellerwolf. That's fine. Thank you for offering them up. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Thanks for letting me know. You saved the village. Your reward is to go ask my neighbor for a new quest, right? Yeah, exactly. So in general, quests suck. Events rule. Right? Bring the NPC the one item they desire. City settlement under attack or harassed by a monster or group of monsters. Gather wood, build barricades, defend barricades, barricade falls, defend the keep. There's a chain of quests, where it's like you go get the one thing for the NPC that brings monsters to the settlement that start attacking it, or they get riled up by this action. Eventually, that boils over into a bigger problem. So I want this to feel like there's like an ecosystem, not just for the players, but for the NPCs and for the monsters too, where it feels like, wow, this one guy has gone around killing like a ton of goblins, and now like here comes the crazy hobgoblin whose name is Bob Goblin, and he's coming over here and he's gonna mess the town up, and he brought a cohort of little goblin friends with him. He comes to town, he says stuff like, you've slain too many of my kin. Yes, a goblin says this, okay? Time for payback. Or whatever, There's just stuff like that makes the game feel way more alive, right? This is why it's really hard, I think, specifically like in a zombie game too, since the zombies are undead and unintelligent. You know, it can be tough to create that vibe. Last two things. Lack of Twitch integration. Yeah, triggering game stuff just for being in the Twitch chat, like raids doing special things. Maybe even Twitch integration users having their own skill trees that are related to the in-game stuff that you can do. You know? Like maybe there's even like little mini games that happen, like you know, today you logged into the Twitch panel, like the extension panel for the game, and then you get an item and you have like a little inventory, and it's like you and other players can use your inventory to assemble, you know, this group of items that you've assembled with other people that are in the chat now summons a monster, or gives a good sword, or damages a tower in the area that now has to be repaired, or, and again, creates like a quest opportunity. Like there's so much stuff that you can do with this that is just so underutilized, and it just hurts me when I see games that aren't using this at all. And the last thing is that is most crucial to any survival crafting game is random world gem. Gotta have it. You have to have it. If you do not have random world gen, your game is dead. A dead game is walking out the door. It is static, unchanging, and dead before you even ship. Right? So, yeah, that's like my feelings on the whole thing. You know? It's a lot. It would be a very, very big commitment, and a lot of work to get it fixed. But it is what it is. So chat, what do you think? We've been gabbing enough? Sorry, I got off on this tangent. We were talking about Funcom and Mental Health Singer and all this kind of crazy stuff, and I'm looking at these games. Again, it was all because we just played this game about making a game. Now I'm looking at other games that are on Steam. I see that Final Sentence came out. Have you guys seen this one? Final Sentence looks funny. So it's a battle royale typing game. So it says, together with other players, you find yourself in a hangar with a typewriter in front of you and a revolver loaded with a single bullet at your temple. Every mistake can be fatal. Only one will remain. I think it's pretty crazy. It seems very silly. Let's see. So I was gifted Zombie Graveyard Simulator. And Coconut Simulator 2, chat. That's the most important one. Coconut Simulator 2. I can now live out my coconut dreams. Let's see. So the other day we played some Ark Survival Evolved. That was pretty fun. We played that on, this was our Zinfully Faithful hangout. Which, by the way, that's going to be coming up again here pretty soon, chat, in just about 2 weeks' time. Seemed like it just happened. Let's see. We got... Yeah, dude, I was bummed out by the Roamstead demo. I can't use it. That's really a terrible time. You know, chat, this is what I think I'm going to do. Okay? I'm at a little bit of an impasse tonight as far as what I would like to do. I have Minecraft that I can play, but I am suffering from some Minecraft fatigue at the moment. And I don't honestly believe that I would have the best time playing it right now. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm making an executive decision. I don't do this often, but I'm going to stop stream. I'm going to stop. We're just going to end stream. And you know what I'm going to do is shortly after ending stream, I'll pop up in Discord and I'll be working on the panel. How about that? I want to use this time in a productive way. So I think that that's the best way to do it. Right? Yeah, that's where I'm at with this, chat. So here, before I wind it down, why don't we do this? I'll do a giveaway because you guys have been really awesome. Let's make it 250 raffle tokens. Let's do 3 minutes on the clock. Everybody's allowed to enter. It costs you 1 card cash. Here we go. There you go. 3 minutes. Exclamation point. No card. Please stay, you beautiful bald man. There you go. And we'll call that good. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'll take a break. I'll get some food. And then when I come back, I will pop into Zin's sweatshop out there in the voice channels. And I will just be working on developing the panel. Okay. That's also what I plan to do tomorrow too. So this gives me a little bit of like consolidated time, which if you know anything about ADHD, man, it's really hard for somebody like me to get anything done without a bunch of consolidated time. Because that's how I work best, is to do the deep dive. Because it's like the task switching becomes pretty rough. So this will be good. I also have a bunch of stuff for Minecraft that I plan to add. I don't know if we'll get to that over the next couple of days. I'd like to. But when we come back on Tuesday, I'm probably going to be playing Windrose. So heads up. Also, we have only 6 days left for the big board giveaway, chat. Big board giveaway. So that's coming up real dang soon. 6 days. And then somebody's gonna be walking away with a really good prize. I gotta recalc again for Tuesday, and that's probably where it's gonna stay. But yeah, right now it's at $340. So that's pretty dang significant, I would say. Somebody's gonna get a very, very nice prize. Very nice prize indeed. All right. So I will keep up the server, though. Just a heads up, the Minecraft server. So if you guys are playing out there, have fun. All right. 1 minute left, everybody. All right. We got a potential winner. How about that? Kay, congrats. All right. Let me get that to you. Are you ready? There you go, Kay. All right, friends. Again, thank you for an awesome stream. We'll have a better plan coming into next week. And I'm going to try to pound out a bunch of stuff between tonight and tomorrow. Again, look for me online. You'll see me out there in the Zin Sweatshop channel. Probably in about an hour or so. Grinding away. If you want to come in and say hi, stop by, please feel free. Okay. It's like open office hours, basically. Especially where, you know, I'm canceling stream right now to go do this. So please come in, chit chat if you feel like doing so. And I'll see you on the other side of that. Okay. I'm not even going to run credits right now. We're just going to shut it down. And I'll come back Tuesday, 6 p.m. And we'll have a few days before our big giveaway and Windrose. Windrose dropping on Tuesday. So maybe we'll get a little bit of an early start on Tuesday. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. With that said, I hope you have a wonderful night, everybody. And until next time, may Lord GabeN's blessings be upon you all. Have a good one, and I will see you Tuesday at 6 p.m. Peace.